you explain yourself and you do it very intelligently.
Yeah.
And then they come back and you be like, wait, but I just explained it. And then they say something out of pocket and then you get ghetto. And then they be like, oh my God, wait. This is what you wanted. Now, so I had to get ghetto for you to now understand, for you to tone it down. I had to talk with my hand. But when I was sitting here looking at you face to face, no, I didn't raise my voice or anything. You were having a hard time. But now here it is. I took it to the next level. Now you understand. And that's not fair. That's not fair. So does that mean you slow?
I'm Shannon.
And I'm Lisa.
And KK's here too. And you're listening to Blacktivities,
a celebration of all things Black.
Black culture, Black history,
Black perspectives, and Black panache.
Celebrating our Blackness doesn't mean exclusion.
Everybody's invited, but you got to come in and have a seat.
So let the Blacktivities begin. Hey, my people. I'm your host, Shannon, here with Mona Lisa the Poet and KK. Today's episode is titled, I'm Not Your Superwoman, right? And I feel all of that, all of it, because we tired. I keep hearing from Black women, especially after the election, about how just we're all tired in general, just from carrying everybody else on our backs. How are y'all feeling about that?
You said it. I'm going to be good this episode.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And also, there's this thing about demonstrating or walking the walk or leading by example. And I think Michelle Obama is leading that by example because she has not been at these events. And she's like, no, I'm not doing it. And I stand 10 toes down with her.
We're going to talk about Miss Ma'am for sure.
Okay. I'll wait.
So before we get too deep into the topic, our season sponsor, Hope Inc., which stands for Helping Other People Be Empowered, provides single parents who are trying to get a degree with ongoing assistance for childcare and rent. But it's not just about the money. They also provide the resources for these single parents to elevate their entire lives. They provide budget coaching, life skill training, and even counseling service so that these single women and men can grow and thrive and better themselves for the next generation and generations to come. For more information about how you can become a Hope participant or support these single mothers, please visit their website, hopbe.org, and I'm going to link it in the show notes. Let's get to the big facts.
Let's know.
There's a reason why we're tired. Black women have consistently had the highest labor force participation rates among all women in the United States, regardless of age, marital status, or presence of children in the home. Even back in 1880, 35.4% of married Black women and 73.3% of single Black women were in the labor force, compared to only 7.3% of married white women and 23.8% of single white women. We had to help support our families because our Black men faced a lot of discrimination. They got lower wages and there was a lot of job instability. Even though this is a big fact, our wages have been statistically lower than white women's. So even though we've been working more, our wages have always been statistically lower than white women's. Also, Black women have contributed to various movements for change in this country and gotten little recognition for it. Even in learning about Black history, the men got most of the credit when Black women were pivotal in a lot of movements, including the fight for women's rights. Because of that exclusion, we've had to create our own spaces. starting in the 1880s, we started creating activist clubs like the National Association of Colored Women, the Neighborhood Union, the National League for the Protection of Colored Women, and the National Council of Negro Women. While doing all this work and organizing, Black women have also endured a lot of violence. The Department of Justice estimates that 1 in 5 Black women have experienced rape, and they say that more than 40% of Black women experience physical violence by an intimate partner during their lifetime. Now, that's what the stats say, but I wonder if it's actually more because historically, like in our culture, it's like what happens in this house stays in this house. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if that number is actually higher.
That's a very important point. In 2023, 60,000 women went missing, mostly us. And then a Black woman dies every 5 hours. So I want to have that out there to get a broad perspective of it. So a Black woman dies from violence, usually partner related or domestic. Every 5 hours, we are dying.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Black women have also shown up consistently at the polls and fought in the ballot box to keep those rights that we organized to get, but we're underrepresented in all branches of the government. We've been standing with everybody else, but when we tried to elect a Black woman this past November, other demographic groups did not stand with us.
92% of Black women supported Kamala Harris.
And I'm just going to leave it there with the big facts.
Thank you.
Let's talk about how y'all have been feeling. What's making y'all feel tired?
As crazy as this may sound, what makes me feel tired is being treated as if I'm tired. And let me explain. So just because I don't give you a whole lot of emotion, or just because I'm not all uproar with certain things, that don't mean I'm a bitch. I just choose on what I'm going to reply to or what I'm going to respond to. So I know that there's a lot going on. We know that, but we don't get the backing like we have been begging for all of these years. So I just say it is what it is. And I'm just like, And so I feel like damn if we do, damn if we don't. If we are upset and we say something and we want what we want, or we're begging for what we have, then, oh my God, she's angry. But if I don't say nothing and I sit back and I'm just watching and I'm just looking, oh my God, look at her, see? So it's like no matter what we do, it's just like, I'm just tired of just being tired. That's it. That's it. And me personally, that's something I have adapted, is because I was so much into they call me Pearl Jr. My mom's nickname is Pearl Jr. My mom was the type of person, she speak her mind, baby. She gonna let you know if she's uncomfortable about something. If you did something foul, she gonna let you know. And I was doing that. But in a certain place, I was labeled as the outspoken one. And because I was outspoken and I called people on their stuff, I was labeled as opinionated. I was labeled as out of pocket or too voiceless. Aggressive.
Difficult.
Mm-hmm. Difficult. Mm-hmm. Yes. I have been told difficult. I even had, and I want to be very careful with saying this. I had someone tell me, well, why do you worry about what others think? Like, just let it be. Well, that's because I have to be worried about others think in this role, in the position that I am. Because no matter what I do, y'all label me a certain way. So I have to be prestigious on the way my next move would be. So I have to pay attention to how you feel. I have to pay attention to what goes on, because I have to be strategic, like I said, on my next move. But I'm just tired of not having the privilege of being able to just float and just be. Us Black women, we don't have that privilege. So that's what I'm tired of.
I love that you said that, because that coded language is used against us. at every opportunity. Those words, those terms, that's coded language, and it is very strategic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you.
I've been waiting on this one, baby. That's why I said, ooh. and I feel comfortable in letting y'all know this. Like, that's something that I have really, really been battling for a long time, is because of the way I am. And I stay off to myself because I know that if something is wrong, I'm going to call you out. Just like if I do something wrong, or if I was out of pocket about something, I want somebody to be like, hey, you know that went right. But because in the area that I am and the people I'm surrounded by, I, most of the time, am the only African American. So it's like the things and the things I say and do is amplified because of who I am. So now that I've put myself in a position to where I'm just going to chameleon, fade to the back, and just float, just be like everybody else. And because I don't say anything, what's wrong with you? Why you ain't say nothing? And then they want to come and check on me, and they want to do, no, I don't need to be checked on. I'm just looking at y'all, baby. This is y'all thing. Ain't got nothing to do with me, but boom. So that's what I'm tired of. I'm tired of having to be extra strategic and just maneuvering through a world and just being normal like everybody else. It's tired.
100%. Yeah. And Lisa, I'm like the opposite of what you just said, because I am a quiet person by nature, but I think like most of my life, I've been extra quiet because I developed something like a complex, I'll call it. But I am trying to unlearn living with so many walls because I play the background role all the time and I don't say anything because like I went through this in therapy and kind of figured some of this out. But it's like, if I don't say anything, if I don't show you who I am, then you can't judge me. So I sit back in the corner and just watch. But some of that is me being quiet by nature. Some of it is walls. Because you're not going to penetrate this right here.
Yeah. This right here, like, again, sharing this experience with you guys, especially you, Shannon, going to school with you, I do remember you being quiet. I do remember you crying. Like, I don't have that memory of you like being like, like I do remember you being quiet, but us,
that will never be me.
Yeah. You never know. Come party with me. I can pull it out. No, but all I can say is being able to sit and just talk to you, I get to experience a different side of you. And sometimes it bothers me that I am so quiet and so standoffish and an introvert that people don't get to see like the true me, like the person that I am, when it's like me and my brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't get to see that. And so it more like, it used to bother me, but now it's just like sucks for them. You know what I mean? Like, if they don't want to come and see what I'm about, then I just like whatever. Just whatever. But I feel like things like this, it gives people the opportunity of being able to have some type of outlet. Me as a poet, I live by, and I want to get shirts made like this. Finding out that I was a creative, it saved my life. And I mean that, like, that is true. It saved my life because you get to have an outlet, which is very important. Because again, we just maneuvering through a world where you can't be yourself sometimes. You have to have some type of filter. You have to have, this way of being just so other people can tolerate you or put up with whatever you supposedly have going on, when that's not the case. So I don't know. I want to put that out there to people. I'm going to wait because I was going to say that was my call to action, but I'm going to wait.
Yeah, I'm tired of having to move a certain way. Like, I just want to be me and who I am and not worry about y'all and what y'all doing. And that is like what I'm working on for 2025.
I love this conversation. In fact, I'm not introverted. I'm an extrovert.
We see that, KK. KK in these streets. I had to.
See, and the crazy thing about it is I did have to be just to get my mental together. But I was telling my cousin earlier that, the one thing I want in life is to be known as somebody who was just genuine and authentic, but also had the ability, because when I took my trip, it was like I was looking at the world in a sense of wonder. And I want to always have that experience. And so
for the people that's here, KK just went on like a women empowerment trip, and she didn't tell us. She's like, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna drop the pictures. And when she dropped these pictures of her and these women, they went to Hawaii. So that's the trip she's referred to. And baby, the different colored dresses that was blowing in the wind, it was beautiful.
That was beautiful.
Beautiful. So that's the trip she's referred to, guys. Go ahead.
It was amazing. And I'm so grateful. I am so grateful to Sydney Jackson Cloxton, who put it all together, her along with Sarah Rimmel. It was just a amazing experience, and I'm glad I went. Part of the reason I went is because I'm exhausted and because I experienced these things. Like, I'm going to be me and I'm going to do what I like to do, but I'm also very direct. I'm a Sagittarius, so I'm very direct. And I have learned to use a filter, because in order for me to navigate in this world, I have to be able to get my point across. I feel like I speak very clear, but what exhausts me is that I'm tired of having to explain myself. I'm tired of having to explain myself. And I feel like I have to explain myself to so many people. And it just, you can say one thing and it's like it's misheard all the time. And
because
so
they're going to interpret it the way they want to interpret it, no matter what. And that's not fair.
That part. And so that lens that it's seen and heard through is what's problematic to me. So having to explain myself all the time is what is exhausting to me. And I know I speak very clearly and very directly, because my directness is what you have a problem with. But the fact that I then have to turn around and explain it is problematic. So as a Black woman, I'm exhausted by having to explain myself.
Right. You explain yourself and you do it very intelligently.
Yeah.
And then they come back and you be like, wait, but I just explained it. And then they say something out of pocket and then you get ghetto. And then they be like, oh my God, wait. This is what you wanted. Now, so I had to get ghetto for you to now understand, for you to tone it down. I had to talk with my hand. But when I was sitting here looking at you face to face, no, I didn't raise my voice or anything. You were having a hard time. But now here it is. I took it to the next level. Now you understand. And that's not fair. That's not fair. So does that mean you slow?
I heard a girl say yesterday, are you stupid or are you slow? I was like, oh.
And when we said, you got to sit there like you ain't do nothing. Just. Yeah. So, but yeah, it is. It's very tiresome. Very tiresome. I agree with you, KK. I totally understand.
Another thing I'm tired of is always having to be better than everybody else. Like, I don't know. Like, I've said this before. I'll say it again. Democrat, Republican, I don't care. I just personally do not like Donald Trump.
I don't.
But I was like so irritated with this whole election because you have this Black woman who has experience in basically all branches of the government. And then you have someone who lies, cheats, and steals, has...
Let's be real.
I don't even know what to call
they
it.
went and pulled one little picture from when Kamala was younger and she was going out with her friends and they was trying to portray this picture like she was just out there, like she was damn near an escort, right?
Yeah.
And then you got this man that's connected to the Playboy Mansion and done paid off all of these people. And he on the mic said he gonna grab them by the kitty cats. And he's done so many things and nearly a convicted felon, all of these felonies and all of this.
No, he is 34 times.
I'm sorry. Yes. I'm sorry. Let's get this. He is a convicted felon, but they still gave him the opportunity. Do you think seriously? And without anyone being smart, just answer the question. Do you seriously think they would have gave President Barack Obama the opportunity if one person would have came up and said, oh, he did this to me back in middle school?
No, because that's white
absolutely
privilege.
Not.
And particularly white male privilege.
And then when we call it out, this is something else that we are all sick and tired of. We call it out and they want to label us as just being angry or what's your problem? And then instead of addressing the issues, they degrade people and they talk down on people and they're so rude and disrespectful. Just answer the question. The man couldn't even answer the question at a debate without throwing stones at somebody else when it was something about him.
There's so many things I could say about him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, we're not gonna make it. No, this episode is about us. Okay.
It's about us, but it's also about like the level of privilege that he has gotten is just like the textbook example of what privilege looks like.
Right.
So like everything, it just gets overlooked and everything just gets moved, and like the world will move and reshape itself for whatever he says and wants. But we get none of that. Like we don't even get a glimpse at that. And that is so irritating. When they were talking about Kamala being a DEI hire and all this stuff, I'm like, nobody in this country gets special privileges except for white men. Like nobody.
Right.
That is so
irritating. And I can't wait
to
to address that DEI thing in our episode that we have that conversation. And I think the last thing I'll say about him, because we're tired and we're not going to keep these people in our conversation, is that he is not an unintelligent person. And we need to stop that narrative that he's stupid. He's not.
No,
he may sound however he sounds, but he is very strategic. And
yes, I was going to say that.
Yeah, he is. So he knows what he's doing. And we now have an oligarchy.
Hence TikTok, but go ahead.
Yeah. We now have it, but even that's another conversation, TikTok. But we now, we don't have a democracy. We have an oligarchy, which is run by wealthy people. And that's our existence now. None of the coons that was tap dancing for him and wanted to kiss his wrists have been appointed to anything. These are Black men who want white privilege, and they got none of it either. So clearly we as Black women are not going to get that. But I digress. We are tired, and we are not, I think about the title of this, I'm not your Superwoman. We're not. Karen White came out with that song. Shaka Khan made I'm Every Woman. Whitney Houston remade I'm Every Woman. And I think we've come to the realization that we're not going to be everything to everybody. And we don't have to be everything to everybody. And I fully plan to sit this one out in 2025. I was actually dancing to that song earlier because I got to get my dance on. But but that I'm Every Woman, and she said Shaka Khan. Yeah. Shaka Khan. I was like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I miss Whitney. I miss her fire and all of those things, but the extraordinary, we are extraordinary, and we are the Black girl magic. All of that is real. And we need to replenish that magic over the next 4 years. I would love to see us replenish that.
I got my Black Girls Rock shirt on.
Yes. Yes.
I hope we need you.
I hope Stacey Abrams sits this one out too. I hope Stacey Abrams sits it out.
She's been quiet. She has been quiet.
Good.
She's probably tired too.
Yeah.
Because she dealt with an election where there was a lot of that going on too. Man, this conversation's getting good. You know what else is good? Hope Inc. is doing a lot of good. Are you a single parent in college in Metro Atlanta and you need help with rent and childcare? Hope Inc. wants to help. Visit hopbe.org to apply, and you could get up to $400 a month to help with rent and childcare so you can stay in school and get that degree. Again, that's hopbe.org. Apply today. Now, this is a conversation about us being tired, but it's also a conversation about self-care because Black women are more likely to neglect self-care. What are the reasons that you guys think this happens? So I feel like one of them is, we touched on this a little bit, is cultural expectations. When it comes to our grandmothers and the women, the powerful women in our families, we saw that no matter what, they bore a lot more children than us, and they were still able to make things happen. But we know that deep down they felt pain. I know that one of them was upset that Leroy was down at the Good Time and House with Sheila, but they were still up making it happen, making breakfast, taking care of the kids.
Or with his other family.
Yes, when he was with his other family. Right. So also to going back to back then, that Black women didn't feel pain. So where they was experimenting on us, especially the gynecologists, experimenting on us and our body parts. I'm terrified of the little septical thing to this day, but I know we got to get it done. That's why I asked the lady to hold my hand. But that's another thing, is just that we are supposed to be strong. So we're supposed to keep it moving as if, nothing, like we're supposed to accept it. It's okay. Like, we've been doing it for so many years. So that's one feeling where I felt like when it comes to self-care and just taking a mental break, that there's no such thing. I feel like it'll be more acceptable if someone of a different ethnicity said, you know what, I just need a mental break, as opposed to if a Black woman was just like, I just need a mental break. I think we would catch a little grief. That's just my personal opinion. Well, like Simone Biles and Naomi Osaka, they did catch flack for needing a mental health break. They caught a lot of flack. It's like, you're abandoning your team if you're Simone Biles or whatever. So, I mean, that is an example of what you're talking about. Do you feel like when Black women want to take a time out for self-care, that is viewed by other people as being selfish? I'm going to be honest with you. There was a period for me where I didn't take it serious. I didn't take self-care serious. But of course, it took my mom and some health issues in the past. I do want to share. I feel comfortable sharing that I am epileptic. I do have seizures, grand mal seizures. And a lot of it was tied to stress, and as well as other health issues. So there was a period when I was going through a major life event. I was ignoring myself. I was neglecting myself. And it took for my neurologist and my mom to, say, hey, like, you need to pay attention to your body. You're not paying attention to your body. And when I start paying attention to my body, even when it came down to work, I'd be like, look, I'm sorry, but I've been pushing myself 100%. I have got to take a day. Like, I cannot. And this resulted in, me feeling better, because I feel comfortable saying this. There was a period where I did have 2 episodes at work, And I woke up in an ambulance, as that man said. And my mom was so upset with me. She met me at the hospital and she said, baby, if you die, them people at work, they gonna replace you. Like you ain't nothing to them.
100%.
They may be, nice and smile or whatever, but baby, you're nothing to them. You're just another body. So it took that for me to realize like, hey, like you got to stop neglecting yourself and pay attention to what you have going on, because my girls need me. My children need me as well as my family. I throw my boyfriend in there too. He'd be acting up, but whatever. But
Lisa had a seizure on her way to my house to record.
Yes. That was that was going to be our first time recording. Luckily, and again, I'm okay with this. Luckily, I stopped to pick up my daughter from college because she wanted to see the process. And as we were getting on the highway, she said, I just stopped talking. And she immediately knew what was going on. And she said she had to jump over into the driver's seat on top of me and pull the car over before we got fully on the interstate. And then by the time I woke up, we were driving home and I was like, wait, what are you doing? And she said, Mom, we're going home. You had a seizure. And I was like, what? And it took a minute for me to realize. And then I'm like, wait a minute, we were getting on the interstate. So that was years ago, but just that scary alone, like that, what if I didn't stop to get her and I was on my way, and what it could have happened. So again, just something like that. It was just, part of the wake up call of paying attention, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I was tired. I had been pushing myself again. I had major life event going on and I was just like trying to be Superwoman and was trying to keep busy. So I think that's just important for all of us. It's okay. It's okay to take mental breaks. It's okay to take the time. Go to the doctor, get yourself checked out. It's okay. And like do it on a regular basis. Also too, with self-care, the same way. And I tell people at work this, if some listeners know, I work in the financial field. I tell my clients the same way that you go to the doctor every year and get an annual physical. When it comes to your finances, it needs to be the same thing, just to make sure you're on track. So that's how I was able to establish that relationship. So I think it's important, like no matter every aspect of your life, have some type of checkout. Or checkup. So yeah, I've been talking too long. Go ahead. My bad, y'all. I'm sorry.
I think for me, when it comes to self-care, I think part of it is also like the societal expectation to be better, to be the best. I have internalized that. And so I'm also like a recovering perfectionist. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes I feel like I push myself harder because I am trying to meet that expectation. Like I cannot do anything subpar. It's got to be amazing. Right. And so I will push myself and neglect the self-care because of that.
It's interesting that we can pinpoint these things. I think oftentimes we neglect our self-care, particularly, or have in the past, because mental health has been so taboo. We don't treat it the same way we do, other illnesses. And so what happens is we used to pray it away or something along those lines. Well, if you're going through something, baby, just ask the Lord. Well, He created people and put people here to do that work. And so that we need to tap into that, whatever it is, whether it takes, getting on a plane, whether it's medication, whatever it is. We need to tap into that because of the fact that it's here for us to better ourselves. And I think these generations coming behind us have a better grasp of that. And although we talk about getting back to spiritual concepts, we still want, or, making sure some form of spirituality is in the home. I don't think anything speaks against us doing this type of work to heal ourselves and to connect with those who this is the work that they do. There are people who do that work for a reason. I do the work that I do for a reason. You do your financial work and your educational work. We all do this for a reason. And that doesn't mean that it's, we only rely on one path. No, I have to tap in. If there's something I need to know about either concept, everybody has their area of expertise. We tap into that. Same thing with mental health. We tap into that. And so, but I do think that the stigma is what normally keeps people, or has in the past kept people away from that. I think we're moving away from that now, but that has historically been an issue. For me personally, it's time management. If I'm doing something and I'm not caring for myself, I know it. And it's just because I'm putting too much on my plate and I need to fall back.
Yeah.
Really quick, when you were saying that, like the women empowerment, like the songs, and you talking about I Am Every Woman, I was curious to see like today what song would be. And they have a list of like different songs. Of course, they have like
I'm scared of this.
Lady Gaga, Born This Way. Okay. They have, of course, Beyonce, Run the World. They got, let's see, Janet Jackson, Control. I'm trying to think of
Katy Perry, This Girl Is on Fire. We got that. Yeah,
that's Alicia Keys.
But why?
Is that Alicia Keys?
That's Alicia
My
Keys.
bad.
Yeah,
why am I giving Katy Perry credit for that anyway?
I think you're thinking of another Katy Perry song, but I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah. And then they got, of course, Beyonce, Formation. I can see that. But why they got TLC Creep on here? I'm dead. I guess.
See, I thought you was going to say something like F in F or something like that.
Oh, yes. No. Not funky. No, Funky Red ain't nothing in part of this. No.
Oh, that's Glorilla.
Oh.
That's Glorilla.
Big Glow.
Yeah. Oh, okay. But I have to say, though, if for me personally, there has been times I've been like, and if I need to put a song on to like get me there, Let Her Cook by Glorilla, baby. I been here, boom, 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 boom. Let her cook. I been here getting it, knowing I'm not cooking nothing. Okay, nothing. But that I feel like for me right now, that would be the song that gets me going. But we don't really have like a song right now that's like women empowerment, do we? For the listeners, if there's one, like hit us up, let us know.
Yeah, if you're on YouTube watching, type it in the comments. Let us know what you think today's women empowerment song is. Yeah. And also give us some reasons that you think Black women neglect their self-care.
Yes.
All right, let's hear Lisa's pieces.
My piece. My piece means so much. So much that no one can place value to the equity of what brings into my piece. Exhale deeply. Moisturize, big back. Let me tell you, I'm sorry. I have to laugh because, baby, when I wrote this, I had just got out the shower and I was greased up. And I felt leave that in there. I'm sorry. I got to be 100%. I felt it, baby. I was sitting on the edge of, you ever sit like grease yourself and you just sit on the edge of the bed, you just doing this with both hands? You know you greasy. Okay, let me start over. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Okay. My piece. No, I'm gonna just go back. I'm gonna go back. Moisturize, big back, confidently sassy, but you'll never know. Because my peace is protected. Guard up no matter what it is. No matter what's going on, I prefer to leave them guessing. No elephant in the room because Caleb said there is no tension. you get emotional. You may get sad. But the emotion you get from me, you'll only get it if you deserve it. This is personal space. Not sure where you thought the community was welcomed. My say of my piece is my piece. So move along. No lending or leasing here. Major intellectual increase. It means so much to me. 'Cause baby, my piece is my piece. Thank you.
Yes. Well, ladies, it's time for us to call the culture to act in some way. Lisa or KK, whoever wants to go first, what is your call to action for the culture?
My call to action, I'm going to start out, is don't be afraid of taking a mental break. Stop thinking what others think of you. Even if you have to take a mental break from social media, that's very important. Just be you. Find activities that make you smile, that make your inner soul smile. Because I'm telling you, once you do that, it is so rewarding. It is so rewarding. It's just like you're burning sage without burning the sage. Seriously. So that's my call to action. Don't ignore yourself.
So my call to action is for us in general, and particularly Black women, to stop inviting people to the cookout and stop calling people allies just because they can do some little stiff dance that they got off of TikTok. Because the reality is these people are not your friends. They are not your allies, and they do not support your well-being. We had a conversation, or I've been seeing conversations about, yeah, we can disagree politically, but I can't support you if your politics is supportive of my oppression. And so there are people we've been inviting to the cookout. There are people who are within our same party. There are people who call themselves allies, which I no longer believe in, who voted a particular way. And even if you take politics out, they don't support you being well and whole and complete. And so let's just stop it altogether. No, there ain't no room at the cookout. No more. It's full. Everything is gone. Ain't no more room. And so don't invite nobody. Don't suggest nobody for whatever reason. Focus internally on our community and ourselves, 100% us and our well-being, because we cannot afford to pour out of empty cups anymore.
Woo!
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. All of that. I'm calling the culture, but really Black women in general, to prioritize their own self-care this year. We can't continue to be everything for everybody. And personally, I'm working on setting boundaries this year. I think probably some of y'all need to do the work with me, because we probably feel bad for saying no, and then we find ourselves tired and overextended. But Black women, we gonna tell folks what we need this year. And if we don't feel like doing something, we not gonna do it. And we gonna be unbothered by it. Shout out to my forever First Lady, Michelle Obama.
All right. Yes.
Yep.
She ain't got to explain nothing to nobody.
Nothing.
And that's
Nothing.
what we do.
He didn't go. He didn't go.
And
He didn't
beyond.
go. Yeah.
He did not.
He didn't go when he felt some type of way. And the fact that she don't even feel some type of way. She just, I don't want to go.
Unbothered.
Yeah.
That's right. And doesn't have to explain anything. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, if you enjoyed this episode, click that plus in Apple Podcasts or that subscribe button in YouTube to make sure that you keep getting these episodes. We love to hear what you love about the show in the comments and your reviews. Thank you to our sponsor, Hope Inc., an awesome nonprofit that I donate to every month. If you want to be a part of what Hope is doing to help out these single parents, If you're a single parent yourself, or if you know somebody who would benefit from these services, please visit their website at hopbe.org. Until we meet again.
King and queens keep doing big things.